So I know this video is extremely late, but I finally beat Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door remake for the Switch. When this game released, I was busy with Sonic Month and there was a lot going on in my personal life and I got kinda busy, but now we are here. So this game is a remake of the original game that released on GameCube back in 2004. I played it once and never beat it. I remember having a good time with it, but I just never beat it for some reason. You guys know I'm way more of a Sonic fanboy than I am of Mario. I personally don't play most of his games at all, other than like a handful. If you guys remember in my Sonic Superstars review, growing up, I was the Sonic guy and my little brother was the Mario guy. I always prioritize Sonic over Mario because I think he's a better character in game series, in my opinion. But this game being a turn-based game interested me, so I decided to pick it up, and after finally beating it, can I say that it's a good game that I should have played more back in the day? Well, let's get into it. The game tells the story of Mario getting a letter from Princess Peach telling him that she is in a town called Rogueport. She has a map that leads to a secret treasure. After Mario arrives in town, he sings a Goomba named Goombella, great name by the way, from a group called the Etznauts. Goombella and Professor frankly tell Mario that the map is tied to the legendary Thousand Year Door. It can only be opened with the 7 crystal stars that are throughout the world. So Mario has to go out and find all the crystal stars to open the door. Also, Peach got kidnapped, so you have to save her. What's new? Starting off with the positives of the game, this game style is amazing. The game looks gorgeous. With the world looking like it's made of paper, makes it more unique and pleasant to look at. The original game still looks pretty good today, but damn, this remake looks amazing. Each area of this game looks beautiful, and I always loved exploring new areas of the game. Speaking of areas, I love the world in this game. I was always interested to go to another area and see where I would end up. Areas like a fighting arena in the sky, going inside a giant tree, going to an island out at sea. Wait, also going to Twilight Town? Ah shit, Mario's about to meet up with the Twilight Town gang. Holy fuck. All these areas are awesome and made the experience way more memorable for me. Next positive I have is that the characters are all unique and cool. They all have their own personalities and unique characteristics. Now, they aren't the greatest characters ever. For a Mario game, I think they're pretty good. Most of them are extremely funny too. I actually laughed out loud a couple times during this game. I was thinking back to how funny this game was. My favorite character ended up being the Yoshi that joins your party. He's funny as hell, and whenever you have to fight an enemy, he just talks mad shit, and I just love his attitude he has. Wait a minute, how did that floor taste? Why does that sound so familiar?
Haven't been fed all day.
Eat floor.
Oh god, that's horrible. I changed my mind, he sucks. Each area you go to, you unlock a new party member. Each party member has a unique ability that allows you to do certain things like reach items that are out of reach, unlock new areas that weren't accessible before, give you a speed boost, hide in shadows. Like, each party member is unique, and I like that. Sometimes Mario gets cursed from these chests that gives him a new ability, like turning into a paper airplane, a paper boat, and just a piece of paper. Wait, what? I'm already paper! Other than the paper airplane, which sucks a lot, I liked all of these curses a lot. Like, the world is filled with secret items, so it's always good to go back to certain areas when you get a new party member or a curse to see if you get a new area or an item. The game does a good job at giving you access to new areas and previous areas when you are backtracking, so that's good. I love the small Easter egg the game has to games like Fire Emblem and just the GBA itself. Also, there's a moment near the end of the game where one of the characters just says something like, "Oh my god, I love Paper Mario Thousand Doors so much." This was funny, like, Nintendo just plugged their own game that I'm playing right now, what the hell. The next positive I have with the game is the gameplay for battles is pretty fun. The game is turn-based. Mario has a hammer and his jump as his basic attacks. You can use the jump to damage enemies that are too high for your hammer to reach, and you can use your hammer to just smash the enemies that are right in front of you, pretty much. Mario can have these items called badges that allow you to have more moves or give Mario and his party member buffs. Like, you can make Mario a glass cannon or like prioritize defense, do more damage. Mario and his party members can do other variations of their basic attacks that can do more damage or debuff the enemies. These variations cost FP to pull off, and both members share FP, so you have to plan accordingly and who does what. This feels extremely good to use. This system makes you strategize on what each character does does and what enemies to take out first. Each party member feels unique and cool to use. One character has an attack that does damage over time, another one is a bomb that explodes and does splash damage pretty much. Depending on what crystal stars you have, Mario can do special moves that cost SP. These moves can either do massive damage to your enemies or buff your party. Most of these moves are extremely satisfying to use and visually cool to look at. When you are battling, you have spectators watching you battle. If you pull off stylish moves or appeal them, they can charge your SP meter. They can also throw things at you, and these things can either help you, like regain health, or give you more FP, or damage you, so you have to keep an eye on them. Like, this battle system is pretty fun to play. There is so many layers into this battle system where you can't just smash buttons, and you actually have to put some thought into what you're doing and keep your eye out on so many different things in battle. It gives the battles more depth, and I honestly like that a lot. Each time you finish a battle, you get star points, and once you get 100 of them, you level up. Once you level up, you have the option to level up your health, FP, or badge points. And I honestly like that the game lets you pick what you level up. But if you want to prioritize health, you upgrade that a lot. If you want to pull off more special moves, you use FP. Or you want to prioritize your badges so you can make your build better, use badge points. I honestly like that a lot. It's like in Rechain of Memories. In that game, once you level up, you get to pick what stats you increase, and I really do like that. The final positive I have is that the game's story is pretty entertaining. Now, this isn't the greatest story ever made. It's a Mario game after all. But playing the game and experiencing the game's events unravel, I had a good time. It was pretty funny, and there was a couple surprises. It was pretty cool. On to the mixed elements of the game. The first mixed element I have with the game is the soundtrack itself. Now, the soundtrack isn't bad at all, but for me personally, there wasn't many tracks that I loved a lot. Most tracks I just liked, but for me personally, it isn't that memorable. Like, thinking back in the game, there isn't a single track that pops up in mind. The next mixed element I have is that the bosses aren't that memorable to me. Most of them aren't bad, but almost none of them are amazing to fight, and the final boss just sucks ass. The final mixed element I have is that the game, for the most part, is too easy. Other than the final boss, I pretty much didn't struggle with this game at all. This game could have been a little bit harder. On to the negatives of the game. The first one I have is Bowser himself. I honestly don't like what they did with him in this game. He is pure comic relief in the game. You can honestly write him out the story and nothing changes. For me, it's just lame that they reduced their main villain from Mario to pure comic relief. The next negative I have with the game is that there's a couple points in the game where it just feels like they just wanted to pad things out to make the game longer. It doesn't happen too often, but when it does, the pace slows down and it kind of feels like a drag to get through, but it's mainly near endgame. The final negative I have with the game is that near the end of the game, it does kind of get repetitive. Even though I was complimenting the game's gameplay, by endgame, I was mainly just running past enemies so I can finish the game faster. Overall, this is a pretty fun RPG to play. I am kind of disappointed that I didn't finish the original game because this game is pretty enjoyable. The style of this game is fantastic and the battle system is fun for most of the game. As someone who doesn't really play Mario games like that, out of the ones that I've played, this is probably one of his best. If you're a massive Mario fan who's looking for a turn-based RPG to play, you're gonna like this game. As much as this pains me to say, it's way better than when Sonic tried to be an RPG. I'm gonna give Paper Mario Thousand Year Door Remake a 7 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please leave a like. And I'm sorry this took forever to come out. Like I said, things kind of got a little hectic, but I'm gonna try to get back on regular posting schedules. Share this video to anybody who might be interested in Paper Mario. Subscribe if you like game reviews, gameplay videos, because that's what I mainly post on this channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.